Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, and in this video we are going to talk about the Sword Fairy team. It's a cheaper team than usual, so if you don't have shield, you can also use just sword in a fairy team. It's also very effective, and if you guys want to see any other kinds of teams, if you guys have any ideas that I could try out and I would make a video about them, just leave it in the comments. Without further ado, let's get into it and enjoy the video. So, as I was saying, what is this video about? What is this team about? So imagine that you are a guy that you don't have much firebooks, you don't have much resources, and you kind of want a sword and shield team, but getting a sword and shield team can get kind of expensive. There are two possible ways that you can do that. You either get like both Zamazenta and Zacian on their base forms, or you get an Overlord sword and you build a fairy team. Now, how to play this fairy team? The cheapest way possible, so if you get an Overlord sword, you should get around, you should need around 1000 firebooks for the base form, 1.6k for the Overlord. You can also play without the Overlord, but the Overlord just makes the team much better and more effective, because you guys will understand in a minute. Also, you kinda really do need a Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini Overlord costs 1500 Unishards. So if you get a normal Tapu Fini and to make it Overlord, it's kinda cheap. You don't need firebooks, so it becomes like a very cheap weather buffer. About the third member, if you have a Xerneas somewhere, if you want to overload it, like, feel free. Even Xerneas does not need anything at all. You don't even need the passive for this team to be effective, because just the normal passive already increases your skill damage of all your fairy type Pokemon by 25%, so you are already buffing Xerneas. If you break through the passive, you just basically allow Tapu Fini to move multiple times, which is not the thing that you really need the most. It helps, of course, but it's not the main thing. The main thing would be to get the buff to Sword. But if you don't have, or if you don't want to spend more, because you'd be like, okay, but why would I spend if I pretend to get a Zamazenta in the future, an Overlord shield? Well, totally understandable. I would probably do the same thing and not get myself a Xerneas if you don't have one. So you could just use something, honestly, for a third member, like an Earth Devil. And I'm gonna give you an example over here on an Earth Devil. How does this team works? So, let's get into it. So this team basically works because of multiple reasons. First of all, we have a fairy type buffer, which will buff our Overlord sword. And then you also need the sword held item, by the way. You really need a sword held item for this to work, so that you can also have access to not only the buffs that the held item provides, but also your group move that can be the bread and butter of your team. Usually, when you are not against another Tapu Fini, you want to start with either using a berry or using something like a Volcanion support. Using Volcanion support or a berry allows your Tapu Fini to move, but since the enemy also has a Tapu Fini, his Tapu Fini will also move, because the first one attacking is a fairy type buffer. A fairy type attacker, a fairy type Pokemon, okay? So usually this works with any Overlord weather buffers that, for example, my first Pokemon is a fairy type, so if I use a berry or a Volcanion support, it will make the Tapu Fini move. And as we will see over here, the moment I use a Volcanion, the enemy Tapu Fini moves, because my first one was the sword. Now, the reason why I chose the Spotlight over here, so we got the Earth Devil because of the Spotlight ability, was because I already knew that this Tapu Fini was going to attack first. So she just killed the Spotlight, and I am free to use my Tapu Fini buff. I'm not going to move multiple times because I don't have a Xerneas. If you notice, like, that Tapu Fini moved multiple times, because it has a Xerneas with a skill breakthrough. But this is already honestly good enough. Now with my buff, I already have enough damage, possibly and hopefully, to take down the other boys. Let's see. And we did not take down the the Tapu Fini. It's okay, but one of the things that we usually do, and one of the things that I don't understand that happened over here. Oh, Okay, I am back, and I was trying to understand what the heck happened on that battle, because usually when you kill using your group move skill, you move again, so your own action points is greatly increased after a kill. So let's just replicate what we have done previously. Let the Tapu Fini move. I'm gonna put this on 3x, Tapu Fini will kill the spotlight, and now it's my turn to buff. Now what happened over there was because I used my Z buff, and when you use a Z skill, there are some Pokemons like this little bird over here that have a special ability, a secret technique, which I will just display on the screen right now, which whenever an enemy uses a Z skill, it makes that Pokemon move, and that's what that Ho-Oh has, and that's why I did not move. So I'm gonna use a normal buff in the situation over here, so that now you guys can see what I wanted to show and how this team can actually work. Because of having the held item, because of having the group skill, if I kill using this skill over here, as you guys will see, I will just attack, I kill the Xerneas, and I will move again. That's actually pretty awesome. And then now I have two options. I either use a Z fighting to attack the Tapu Fini, but this thing will probably just make Ho-Oh move. Let's see what happens. So I either use the Z fighting to kill the Tapu Fini, or I just use an ultimate to kill the Ho-Oh. But in a normal battle, where like you would not have Pokemons like that with that ability to move after you use a Z skill, you could just do this. The Z fighting, as you guys can see, once you kill, where is it? Where is it? Can act again after kill. So it's actually awesome, and that's why this team works with just a sword. We would do this, assuming that we would have enough damage, of course, to get a kill, and then we just go and would kill the last Pokemon over there. Because usually, like, this is like, as you guys can see, the power difference is huge. I don't have enough attack, but in a similar power level, or in similar, it doesn't need to be similar because Sword is OP, but you guys understand, like, with a much less power difference, I would just kill stuff over there, and I would be very happy and continue the battle just by doing that kind of stuff. Now, let's get into a different battle example. I will still use the spotlight. No, honestly, let's change this really quick. Okay, I am back in battle, and for a third member, honestly, I'm using Xerneas, I already used Spotlight. You guys can also use something like an Overlord Victini, anything that is a third member that can somehow help you in battle, honestly. The main point is, Overlord, of course, Overlord Tapu Fini with a sword, and the third Pokemon usually is something that helps you out. But let's go into the third battle. I will attack first, I have more speed, but it's not like by much. As you can see, this is like a bugged speed, so sometimes when you want to check your stats, you have to do it right on the battle start before the Pokemon's load. But let's ignore that fact and let's just check how this battle would go. Over here there are no Pokemon that stop me from using a Z move, so I'm going to open up the battle with a Z move from a Z buff from our Tapu Fini. The thing is, even if I don't have the passive breakthrough on the Xerneas, but even if I have, I would not move again because the enemy has a Zoroark, which stops move agains. Like, there are two kinds of things that make your Pokemon move again. One thing is action points, which is what you get over here with the group skill. Says your own action points is greatly increased after the kill. So they have like some kind of different mechanics. Action points, for example, if I kill over here, I will move again for sure. But if I would use a Z fighting within this Zoroark, I would not move again. Even if I kill a Zoroark's passive denies the move again, but does not deny the actions. So let's just, now I have like the buff from my Tapu Fini, right? And I'm going to use the group move. Using the group move, I just kill Zoroark, and now it's time for the Hoopa. Over here, it's honestly just whatever, and I'm actually going to show you guys that that does not matter, since I was just explaining. I'm going to kill this guy with my Z fighting, and as you guys see, I did not move again at all. But that's just because of Zoroark, because those things have different interactions. Now I might lose because I attacked, oh yeah, now I'm losing just because I attacked the Squirtle and not the Hoopa. But in that situation, what you want to do is attack the Hoopa. Let's just redo that really quick. Okay, we're back in battle. We use a Volcanion support to make our Tapu Fini move. Tapu Fini will use the Z buff. Nothing unusual over here. Over here now, we are using our group move so that we can kill somebody and move again, right? And now we just take down of this Hoopa. This big boy Hoopa will just use his ultimate, one-shot my whole team, but what matters is that it was Ho-Ho set versus Ho-Ho set, so it's a fair battle in a way. Now I just use ultimate and goodbye Hoopa and goodbye everything. Now, that's how this team works. You rely on the held item and on the Z fighting to move again to get more damage output, because remember, the logic of you moving again, it's usually because of your passive. Like your passive, it says over there, when an enemy Pokemon dies, when any Pokemon dies actually, Zacian's physical attack and speed is increased by 20%, and the effect cannot be dispelled. So you can basically abuse your group move to move again, you can use your Z fighting to kill somebody and move again, getting more physical attack, getting more speed, getting more stats, so that you can take down the main attacker of the team. Well, this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see any other kinds of teams. Just leave the team suggestions in the comments, and maybe I'll do another this kind of video in the very future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next video.